Hey, welcome Photo 1 MUL 105 to the 4 week section of this class. Just going to go over a quick intro on what you can expect here for week 1 and give you a quick intro about myself and that kind of thing. So you've successfully logged into Moodle with looking at this. The first thing I need you guys to do is go through and look at the course orientation and the syllabus and the class schedule. Those three documents are the most important thing you need to take care of right away. That's going to get you going on what the term is going to look like, what our course is going to look like, what the schedule is, and how much work and time you need to commit to this class. This being a 4-week class, things are going to move really quickly, and staying on top of that is going to be really important. So it's up to you to really look at your schedule and make sure that you've got the time and the energy to do the research and the readings and the video watching that is required for the class. Be able to shoot the photo projects in a very timely manner because they're each due at the end of each of the weeks, and be able to give feedback to your fellow students in critiques and forums. So that's the first thing I need you to do. And then after that, let me just go into what our first week of the class is going to be looking at. So this week we are going to be getting to know each other, and then your required activities are going to be an intro to DSLRs and installing Lightroom. So that's going to give you an overview on how your camera works, the difference between a DSLR and a point and shoot, starting to look at shutter speeds and apertures and that kind of thing. And then as you dive into the camera boot camp, you're going to be getting into all of that stuff into even more detail there. Next week, week 2, we'll be diving deeply into depth of field, shutter speeds, and ISO, and how those three things affect our images. But for right now, I want you to get used to your camera, understanding how it functions and what it does, how it operates really, and then to work through all of that, there's an assignment called Camera Explore, which you'll be taking photos just with a smartphone of your camera and answering some questions and that kind of thing there, so we can be looking at that, and so I can get a sense of where each of you are at with your camera and your experience, that kind of thing. You've got 3 chapters to read in the book Zen of Post-Production, and that is going to cover kind of installing Lightroom and what the basics of Lightroom and how Lightroom works. Lightroom is the software that we're going to be using to edit, organize, and catalog all of our photo projects. It's put out by Adobe. It works in tandem with Photoshop. It's an awesome piece of software to kind of build foundational skills with workflow and being able to stay organized with projects that have 10 or 20 photographs all the way up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 images in them. You can use Lightroom to organize all of that. I've used Lightroom to organize years worth of work that I can go back and find and access very, very readily. So super, a little daunting at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's just like riding a bike. You've got a couple of photographers you're going to be looking at this week: Michael Kenna, Edward Brzezinski, and Edward Weston. Really kind of soak in their work. Their way of photographing, their way of seeing is going to be very applicable to next week's photo project. So let their stuff kind of set in and look at that. I want you to take a look at how to use Google Drive and how we're going to be using it for the class, making sure that if you have any questions with that, use that course Q&A to fire those off, and we can get those answered for you right away. So your activities this week are going to be intro forum. That's due Wednesday, this first week. And then you have your Camera Explore, Art of Seeing, and just those 2. So Art of Seeing and Camera Explore will be due on Saturday, the end of week 1. So let me know if you have questions with any of that. I'm looking forward to having you guys all in class, and let me know if there's anything that doesn't make sense to you. All right, thanks so much. Oh, and then a couple quick things about me. I'm filming this video in my photography studio in Eugene, Oregon. I've worked as a freelance commercial, editorial, architectural photographer for the past 17 years. I've taught at Lane for the last 5. Totally love what I do. and I have a lot of knowledge and experience that I'm looking forward to sharing with any of you. So if any of you are curious to know more about what I do professionally, always feel free to reach out. All right, have a great week one, and yeah, fire off questions in the course Q&A as they come up. Thanks.